Finally, we had cars on track in Miami this Friday. FP1 and FP2 didn't disappoint in terms of entertainment, and there have been plenty of surprises already this weekend. The Silver Arrows might just be back. We're talking a lot of Mercedes today as Lewis Hamilton bemoans the new Miami circuit. There's more discussion about his piercings and the FIA's piercing and underwear regulations. And George Russell doesn't know where the teams found their pace from, but they've certainly got it in spades this weekend. I'm Ollie Wilson, this is GPFans. Let's dive into all the headlines this Saturday. Lewis Hamilton isn't exactly a fan of the new circuit to grace the Formula One calendar, as the 7-time world champion bemoaned a section of the Miami International Autodrome circuit after FP1 and 2 yesterday in Florida. Despite improvements to his car's competitiveness through the first two sessions of the weekend, Hamilton had plenty to say about the circuit in Miami after bumps and B&Q car park style turns apparently plagued his enjoyment of the track. The section Hamilton was referring to was turns 13 and 14 at the end of the middle sector of the lap, where Carlos Sainz had his off in FP2, more on that later on, with Hamilton saying, "It's quite nice to drive except for the chicane. That might be, I don't want to put that quote out there, I'll hold on to that one. But it's so tight, it reminds me of being in a B&Q car park when I was 6-7 years old in a go-kart going in between the cars," before suggesting that maybe removing it altogether would improve racing in the future. The British driver wasn't a fan of the bumpy nature of the circuit either, although bumps have plagued Mercedes at every track they've been to so far. But Hamilton was amazed that there were so many big ridges in the track and that in this modern era a flat surface couldn't be carved out for race day. Now we'd love to know your first impressions of the track from FP1 and 2 and what you make of it as a viewing experience in the comments section below. Hamilton, in case you missed it, has also been granted a 2-race extension to remove some of his piercings that couldn't physically be taken out before this weekend's running in FP1 and 2, after his jewellery clearly conflicts with the FIA's stance on underwear and jewellery that was outlined this week. Now, it's a stance that many see is unnecessary from the sport's governing body, but F1 TV pundit and former teammate of Hamilton, Jenson Button, believes it's the same rules as they've always been and that they're just being enforced more stringently by the FIA. Finally, the running on the track itself, as FP1 and FP2 took place in Miami on Friday, with Mercedes, yes, Mercedes, showing some of the early pace. After weeks of bemoaning their ability or inability to battle at the front of the pack, the Silver Arrows managed to get George Russell into second place in FP1, following that up with a time chart topping 1 minute 29.938 in FP2, the only driver to break the 1 minute 30 lap time mark. FP2 was a tumultuous affair, with Carlos Sainz adding to his ever-growing reputation as he tangled with the barriers in his Ferrari at turn 14, bringing out the red flag. Max Verstappen was having hydraulic issues as Red Bull's reliability woes seemed to creep back into play in the heat of Miami, with smoke coming from his rear brake ducts as the Red Bull driver was forced to limp back to the pits without setting a time in the session. While Lewis Hamilton finished 8th and 4th in FP1 and FP2 respectively, it was his teammate battling with Charles Leclerc for top spot in both sessions, although the young British driver couldn't exactly say where the pace has come from, saying, "To be honest, we don't really understand why we hit the ground running. We always knew ahead of this weekend that the conditions should suit us better because we've struggled a lot with tyre warm-up, even in Bahrain when the track was really rough." So the first hot race of the season is perhaps a nice fit for Mercedes, with temperatures around about 33 degrees in Miami for the sessions. So let's see if it sticks with the team for the rest of this weekend. Now you can follow all the action on gpfans.com and GPFans Global on Twitter and Instagram as well, and stick with us here at the YouTube channel for the whole of this F1 2022 season.